whether Claude or Gemini is actually more valuable as you grow on YouTube. We're going to settle it today, or at least do our best. I personally really, really love Claude. Like it's unhealthy. Sometimes I say that I'm in a throuple with Claude. But my friend Salma Jafri swears by Gemini. She's the one that posts that she did something with Gemini, and I go, "Oh my God, I got to use that more." So instead of arguing about it in the comments for the next 3 months, Salma suggested we get together and put them to the test. Which do you think will do better? Whether you're here live or watching the replay, drop your prediction, Claude or Gemini, in the comments right now. And let me bring Salma on. Hello,
Hi.
Salma.
Hi, Jerry.
Salma is brilliant at YouTube. We met at a dinner in April when we were both speaking at Social Media Marketing World in Anaheim. She's been featured on huge platforms, including Entrepreneur Magazine, and she's joining us now from where she lives in Portugal. And Candy will be joining us, my co-host, here in just a second, but we had a tech thing, so she'll pop in. Yeah.
How can you not have a tech thing in a live stream? You have to have a tech thing.
Exactly. It's going to happen. So
pretty much guaranteed.
Like, share why you love Gemini. Like, I mean, let's call it out. Gemini is owned by Google. Yeah. YouTube is owned by Google. So there's obviously some alignment there. Tell me why you love Gemini so much.
I mean, I like simplicity, and I like when all my tools talk to each other. So I'm already in Google Workspace. So it's Gmail, Calendar, Google Docs, spreadsheets, all the things, slides, right? So Gemini connects with everything, and of course with YouTube, because they are both by the same company. So I just like having all my apps talk to each other super, simplistically. So yeah.
So welcome, Candy. So
hey, I'm back. Hi.
Yeah, welcome back. Your mic's a little quiet, Salma. I don't know if you have a way to turn it up at all on your end, but so
I was
going to
say the same about your mic, but I'm going to turn mine up. Yeah.
Okay. If you without giving too much away, do you think
Can I do a quick mic check now?
That's much better. Yeah.
Oh, I lost you, Jerry. I lost your mic now.
Oh, we're having all of the tech issues today.
Well, I'm fine. I don't know what's wrong with you people. I am great. But I did.
So glad.
I jumped in though. I'm sorry. The first question that you asked her was exactly why she likes Gemini better than Claude, right? Is that what it was? And so she was solving all of our communication problems. Like if it's a relationship and then one person is not saying that they really want you to unload the dishwasher in a specific way, but they're just huffing every time they walk past the dishwasher. So this is what Selma's saying. She wants communication, how it's all talking to each other. Right.
All right. Millennial Meg says, have a great live. I can't stick around, but I'll catch the replay. No worries. Standout Speak Up says, I've never used Gemini, so can't wait to see this debate.
I have a feeling there are going to be a lot of people like that in here.
I'm a Gemini fan, but curious about Claude as well. So.
Oh, that's Katrine. Right. That's my client.
And I do like it how that person put debate in air quotes.
Yes.
Like, is it really even going to be a debate? There's going to be one clear winner. What are we talking about? But
we'll let the audience judge. We'll let the audience be the final. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about the criteria that we set here for today and exactly what we are going to cover. So these are the topics that we're going to test on Gemini and Claude. And we discussed this ahead of time, and we really want to show you the best of what's possible, not what like a minimum free plan with no training can do. So we're each using our own accounts. Salma's using her Gemini account. I'm using my Claude account, each with its own history, training, skills, whatever we have in there, just again to show you what's possible. Now, we have video topics we're going to start with, because that's obviously where you start with a video as ideation. Then we're going to talk about video titles, then thumbnails, video scripts, and then if time permitting, we'll look at channel analytics using AI as well. Now, full transparency, neither of us always do things in this exact order, but we'll kind of give you clarity on that as well. So, Candy, let me ask you, sort of as the moderator here today, like, is there an advantage to going first or second? I don't know if we should flip a coin or like what are the rules here?
Honestly, we all know that AI is just as smart as it ever is going to be right now. So is there really an advantage of which you're going to exploit first? No. It's just going to be whatever they're going to be the best at. So if we're playing, game maker's odds, I would say flipping a coin would be accurate. There's not a real advantage to going first.
Yeah, because I have a coin.
I'm happy for Claude / Jerry to go first. So
Claude
Okay,
slash
we'll
Jerry. Jerry Claude. It kind of sounds like Jerry Claus. Jerry Claude. Jerry Claude. Let's just have you go first.
as the guest, that's fine.
I'm
We'll
looking
let
for
you
a
pick.
coin. I don't think I have a coin either.
And again, to be clear, as Candy was saying, this is, AI right now is smarter than it's ever been. We know it'll continue to get smarter here in the future. So, all right, we're going to start with topics. So let me share my screen again, and I'm going to go ahead and send this first prompt, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about what it says. So we'll tighten this up here a little bit. So first thing that's happening is one thing that Claude is great about is it connects with MCPs, which is basically a way to connect it to other tools, which I don't believe Gemini does. Is that accurate,
Ooh,
Salma?
I see. Going in for the kill in the first 5 minutes. All right, I
Come to
see
play,
you.
Salma. Come to play.
I see you bringing in the MCP connectors. Alrighty, go on.
I'm just asking. I mean, I know, yeah. So I'm connected through a tool called vidIQ, which is a great YouTube research tool that I use, and so it's actually connecting here. So I've said, using vidIQ, I'd like your help finding some YouTube topics for my channel. Give me 5+ topic ideas, 1 line each, working title plus the specific search a busy entrepreneur would type to find it. And I just kind of try and, clarify it for my channel. And it comes back, and Claude loves to make these big, fancy graphics with all this data. I have AI now, so I don't have to look at all the data. So I'm just going to scroll down here to the bottom. So here's where I'd point the channel. How to get clients from YouTube without becoming a creator. Search how to get clients from YouTube. I really like that. The 90-minute YouTube week, batch record a month of videos in one sitting. You start a YouTube channel when you have 0 time. How to start a YouTube channel with no time. Turn your old webinars and podcast episodes into YouTube videos. Search how to repurpose podcast into YouTube videos. That's interesting. YouTube video ideas that actually bring in leads, not just views. How to run a channel with no editor, no team, no time. How many videos before YouTube sends you leads? So I like these. These are really strong. Yeah, I'm happy with the first round of results.
So let me ask you a quick question. So to answer your question, no, Gemini does not have an MCP connector, which sucks. I agree. Maybe in the future they will. So I will absolutely say that yes, this is an integration that works seamlessly inside Claude, right? The vidIQ and
once you connect it. Yep.
Once you connect it, and you can connect other apps. You can connect email marketing, and I'm sure you can connect a whole bunch of things inside. However, you do have something called connectors in Gemini, and they are grouped by Google tools and other tools. And just recently, they've started to add other tools. So the Google tools obviously are the workspace tools like Calendar, Gmail, YouTube, et cetera, right?
Yeah.
But recently, I've been able to add Canva as a connector. So they are starting to put those. So it's literally just called Gemini connectors.
Okay. All right. You want to share your screen then and show us how you do topics with Gemini?
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to start doing topics in the YouTube dashboard, right? So I'm going to, instead of a prompt, I'm going to jump straight into YouTube because we're doing this for YouTube. So why not start there? However, I will share a prompt as well at maybe around the end of this thing. So let me just choose my correct screen here. So where I am in right now is I'm inside my YouTube dashboard, and I'm inside the content tab here on the left. And then from the top, I'm here in the inspiration tab. Now, everyone who has YouTube should have this. So this is something that everyone, free partner program, whether you are, whatever level you're at, you should have this. And what you can do in this area, it's if you already have videos created, you can see that it's starting to suggest topics for you, and you can show more and it's going to suggest more topics for you. But what I like to do here is to explore ideas around things that I'm thinking of creating videos on. So for example, I was creating a video on creator partnerships, which is a new feature that YouTube launched in March, I believe, right? So I will just write that keyword in, or choose from one of these, or choose multiple keywords, and then just hit explore ideas. So we're in the ideation stage, right? So we're just trying to come up with what's happening, and these results are personalized to my YouTube channel and to my audience. So they're not generic results about what content I can possibly create, but what content can my channel create that is going to fill content gaps that I have not currently created yet. And if I go into my, so it's going to give me all these topics, for example, the ghost partner, pitching brands before you have subscriber numbers, how to negotiate high ticket annual retainers, AI liaison, etc., etc. Now, what I want to show you is I have some ideas saved here. So you can actually just go here and save any of these ideas, right? So you can just go here and save this. Or you can click these three dots and say, this was helpful, not interested, if you want to give it some feedback, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click some of my saved ideas and show you how you can go deeper into the ideation phase. So for example, I had these saved: why yapping is your secret weapon when yapping was trending, the anatomy of my media kit, what do brands actually want? So this is very creative partnerships relevant right now. And then today I actually got this idea because of our integration that we were going to do on Claude versus Gemini, right? So let's just explore this idea. It's like literally the newest one. So you can ask it to tell me more, or you can just click here, Claude versus Gemini. The ultimate AI workflow for advanced video scripting. So already I'm like, okay, this is something I could work on. And this is inspired by viewer comments. So I've already created some videos on similar topics. So this is now personal intelligence of Gemini in play. So you see here, it says inspired by viewer comments, and then it tells me why this would fit my channel. This idea perfectly bridges your VET formula with high-level automation. So that's one. The second is by stress testing models through brand deal scenarios, you shift the conversation from basic content creation to high-yield business strategy, which aligns with my goal of helping creators earn beyond AdSense. And the third one is the strategic tool comparison. Now, if I go here into develop idea, it will further develop this idea with hooks, with outlines, with thumbnails. These are shit. Don't look at the thumbnails yet. But basically, we'll get to thumbnails, and I have another way to do this. But this tool is an ideation. It'll start to get your brain working the way that you want to start thinking about how to put together an idea, right? And I just want to quickly go over here into my prompts, and I have a prompt here for you, which maybe I'll give out at the end of this. But if I take this prompt, it's basically you add at YouTube search. Okay, so you add at YouTube search in Gemini, and then you ask it to analyze your last, whatever, 15, 20 video uploads, identify 3 core topics I covered the most, and highlight the most obvious strategic content gaps. So this is a prompt that I can actually use to uncover content gaps inside Gemini.
Yeah, so for that, you're not using, so first of all, everything in YouTube Studio runs on Gemini, right? So that's why this is part of Gemini. But you are, for that last one, you're actually doing that just in a Gemini chat, like gemini.google.com. Okay.
Yes.
And because it's public data, it can pull that stuff.
Yeah, I can actually just quickly show that as well if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. And I was going to say, I love the tools that YouTube is rolling out inside of YouTube Studio. I like that they're making them available. Like you don't have to have a paid account or anything like that, which is really helpful. The one downside of the inspiration tab is when you don't have a lot of channel history yet, there's obviously the information is not valuable, and you really have to know, like, yes, that's right for me, or it's not. But
this is when you can use something else that I'm going to talk about, which is competitor videos. So you can do a lot of things with the marketplace that you want to play in. So let's just talk about this. Prompt has returned some strategy here. Top 3 core topics that this channel. So this is my business channel. And it's talking, okay, here are the 3 strategic content gaps, things that you haven't talked about yet that your audience wants you to talk about, which is inbound lead conversion, sales call strategy, something I've never talked about, funnel tech stack, CRM integration. So this is my business channel. Right now I'm like on my creator channel, but like my business channel is like all income, leads, sales, all that kind of stuff. And so I would be talking about all of these topics there. Yeah. for sure. And then in
Salma
between.
has 3 channels, so sometimes when I just think, oh, it's hard to keep up with one channel, I go, oh, look at Salma, she can do it. She can do it. So,
but the reason why, and this is the other follow-up I was going to ask you, Salma, when you do that first ideation phase via the YouTube dashboard, and this is what, and she did mention everyone has this if you have a YouTube channel. How many of those would you say are probably good to go at first blush? Like, give me, like, 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5.
I mean,
like, your opinion.
Yeah, from an ideation phase, it really depends. I don't want to be overcrowded with ideas. So I will typically choose one in each category to start off with and then test it out on my actual channel rather than be like, oh, these are 10 ideas and they're all good to go right now.
Okay. Okay.
That's the most painful part of AI now.
Yeah.
You could literally say, give me 500 video ideas and it will do it.
Yeah.
And that leads to nothing good at that point. So let's see. You will not talk about Cloud Code, vibe coding, and AI agents because I'm really curious about that. At the end, we're going to each speak a little bit more about Gemini versus Claude. And I'll absolutely talk about that because I'm kind of obsessed with that and where things are going. But all right, let's talk about titles then. So obviously first we started with these topics. Now we are looking at taking things and actually coming up with titles. The title is so important because you obviously need a high click-through rate, and the title and the thumbnail are what does that. So I'm going to come back over here and I'm just going to hit enter and then I'll tell you. So the prompt I put in was, I want to make a YouTube video about Claude versus Gemini for YouTube growth. Please use vidIQ to help me come up with a list of compelling titles using my title skill and incorporating keywords. Please include the scores for each title. So for this, I'm using vidIQ, but I also have a skill inside Claude trained on how I think titles should sound. One thing it does is it pushes back and says, hey, do you have a script or a transcript or an outline? Because obviously that's way more helpful in order to coming up with titles. But for today, we'll just say, not yet, go with what you've got. Another thing too, let me ask you this, Salma, do you do, in your ideation phase, like do you try and have a final version or a near final version of your title and thumbnail before you start filming?
I have something called my YouTube planner. And I have about 40 things in there that I want to actually feed it before I even start scripting or recording the videos. So those things, I could show you like a quick snapshot, but I have a video on it already. So if you want
don't worry about it. Yeah, just tell us about it.
Those things are things like, what keywords am I targeting? What do I want people to do at the end of this video? What related videos are going to go in with this? Is this going to be part of a series? What lead magnet do I want to promote at the end of this video? And I have title variations. So I want to come up with, like, this is literally a brainstorming session where I want to come up with as many title ideas as I possibly can off the top of my head about what this video is about and how many different ways I want to say it. So the first step for me is actually not AI. It's my own brain.
Your brain,
at this point. Yes. Yeah. And I also have another section in there called thumbnail, actually 2 sections. One where I put inspiration thumbnails that I've found on similar topics. I actually screenshot them and upload them in that section. And then another section for thumbnail text. So what I like to use something called the GCFA framework, which I've developed, which is like goals, challenges, fears, and aspirations. Fears and aspirations typically go on the thumbnail. So are we highlighting the pain, or are we highlighting the aspiration? So that's the emotional content that I want to portray in the thumbnail. And then goals and challenges go in the title. So what goal do you want to read, or what challenge you have with reaching that goal? So that will typically go in the title. So that's kind of how I start to think, and I start to put all these things inside my planner.
Okay. Yeah, I very much like to have a working title before I do anything else, but then it often does get changed before I publish. So, all right. So it does its thing. It gives fancy charts, which I usually skip. And by the way, for this, I used the same idea, Claude versus Gemini, with what we were doing here today.
Right.
So down here, top 5 titles scored. How I ran my YouTube channel through Claude and Gemini. Here's what actually happened. 98. It's out of 100, so that's a heck of a score. Claude versus Gemini for YouTube. Which AI actually grows your channel? Why Gemini beats Claude for YouTube growth, and where Claude still wins. So that's the 3rd ranked one, but I kind of really like that one because it kind of says they're both good. So no matter which one you're using the most, there's something there for you.
But the question is, why does Claude win? And that's what if somebody took the time to read that full title, that's what they would want to see.
Excellent point. If they read the whole title, Claude versus Gemini.
That's the point for for titling, and before you go down all the list of titling, and this is kind of what Selma was saying, is your own human brain is the first thing that goes, I wouldn't read that. Like if I wouldn't read that whole thing. Was it? Yeah. You're stuffing things in there. You're trying to make it cutesy for SEO or whatever else you're trying to do. When you're like, oh, what I'm really trying to say is this. So I think that's great that you start with your own brain first.
Yeah, and then the title skill will come back and it'll give me a recommendation. It's not always the number one. So this one says I'd go with title 2, which was Claude versus Gemini for YouTube, which AI actually grows your channel. States plainly who it's for and why they should care. So that is kind of the process I will go through for titles at the beginning. At the end, I will run the full transcript through and see if there's something else there that is maybe a little bit more powerful. But that's what I do in the beginning. I actually do this in the app that I built in our membership, and it runs on Claude. It's the same basically skill in the back end. So so that's titles.
And then what's your process for testing them? Do you use like A/B testing features on YouTube if it's not performed? Like what's the baseline performance that you're looking at?
It's really tricky with titles because, as you know, Salma, there are titles that would work best in search. There are titles that will work best in browse, and titles that will work best in suggested. And unfortunately, YouTube doesn't let us go in and be like, why don't you use this one in suggested? So our current workflow right now is we are experimenting primarily with one title to start, and usually 2 thumbnails. But then as time goes on, if the watch time is decent, but the click-through rate is not good, that's when we'll go back and consider swapping out one or the other.
Perfect.
Judging by your eyes moving around, I assume you're sharing your screen. I just wanted to double check.
I'm not sharing just yet. I'm actually just looking at what I want to share. So I'm going to share my title gem. So gems on Gemini are like GPTs on ChatGPT. They are custom instructions that you can hard code into the AI, and every time it fulfills those instructions. So I'm just going to share what my title gem looks like here.
So, and it's kind of like GPTs on ChatGPT, which I know are going away.
It's kind of like that, but this one actually works with your YouTube URL. So if you look here, what it says is paste in your video URL and it'll generate 3 to 5 curiosity-inducing titles for your video. So this is actually the work that is done after it analyzes your video, which is actually a great way to start with a working title, but then actually put up an unlisted video on YouTube. So I'm going to do that. So this one is actually listed because I don't have an unlisted video right now. But what you want to do is you want to give it a YouTube URL. And what it will then do is it will analyze your content. So you see it's connecting to YouTube.
Nice.
So it's going to connect to YouTube. It's going to read the transcript, read the entire video, watch the video, look at all the nuances inside that video. And then Gemini has something called multimodal video extraction. And what it's going to do then, it's going to suggest contextual titles based on things I've actually said in the video, especially the hook. So it's literally saying the hook is this. YouTube just launched a brand new feature called blah, blah, blah. And the value proposition of this video is this. The differentiation point is this. This is how you're differentiating your video against the other videos. These are the psychological triggers that you have mentioned inside your video. So some high converting video title ideas would be, before you try YouTube creator partnerships, do this. This is based on one of my title formulas, which is do these 12 things as soon as you action. So I have 200 YouTube title formulas fed into this gem. And so it uses one of those formulas and gives me some of these ideas. Warning, bad news for YouTube creators using new feature. YouTube creator partnerships changed everything until this. Some of these sound a little bit clickbaity, but you can obviously adjust them. 7 worst brand deal mistakes YouTube creators are making. I tested YouTube creator partnerships and this happened. And then you can see that it has the video here. So you want to check it's actually loading the correct video and that it's reading it properly and giving you all of these options.
Yeah, that's awesome. And this is obviously one place where Gemini is so strong, where it connects back to YouTube, right? Showed you the thumbnail, read the URL, and I think the other tools are able to see the public stuff sometimes. Although in any of them, I used Claude and ChatGPT and Gemini semi regularly, and it seems like all of them sometimes say, "Well, I can't look at that right now," and I'm like, "You can't even look at a website?" Like, but it's all moving in that direction. But there's no doubt that Gemini's connection with Google and YouTube is a huge advantage for people.
It's pretty strong, yeah.
Okay, so let me ask a fundamental question before we move on to thumbnails, because that's my jam, and we're going to be having fun when we get there. But here's the question. So, Selma, logically, if we say Gemini is integrated with YouTube right now to the fullest extent, and that's what they're updating in real time with us, right? Wouldn't your results be similar to everybody else's?
No, because it's so Gemini has something called personal context. And personal context is relevant to only my channel. So if I switch channels right now and go over to my lifestyle channel, which is Move to Madeira, obviously all of the title suggestions are going to be based on the kind of content that I've created over there. So it's based on pattern recognition and predictive analysis and seeing my specific channel, what performs well, what do people actually respond to with my specific videos, not just generic stuff.
Okay, so there will be some crossover in different marketplaces, but it wouldn't be so much that would then create blindness for a viewer to see it in the scroll.
I mean, there's always going to be some crossover with AI. There's always going to be some. But I think this is where, because Jerry and I are both like YouTube strategists, so we kind of know when that's happening, and then we kind of come in and tweak things. Because like some of these titles, like I like the last one, but I didn't like the clickbaity one, so I would never choose that for myself, because I know me. So you have to have some filter.
Well, and that's the strength I think we all need, is to know when AI is giving you something good and when it's not. Sometimes it's personal, sometimes it's strategic, but we all know AI is so good at giving us things that sound good. I can't tell you how many times I'm like, that's a great webinar title. And then I'm like, that doesn't even fit my topic barely. It doesn't make sense at all. So, all right, let us know in the chat if you are here live or even on replay. At this point, we've showed you topics and titles. Which side are you liking so far? Gemini versus Claude? I don't think anybody's personal feelings are going to be hurt here.
Mine are. Mine will be.
This is obviously a playful exchange. Candy, you should have brought ChatGPT. I'm going to be
deeply offended. No, ChatGPT.
Candy, which side are you on? Are you on ChatGPT's side? Because that's a whole another video.
It depends on my task. Oh, and I think that just is one of those answers. Like if I'm doing something that's like an introspective, more emotional writing, Claude wins every time. If I'm doing some sort of graphic where it's like, I really need you to hone in, Nano Banana. Eventually you hear me yelling, banana, in my room. That's what I'm doing because it's not listening to me when I'm talking about an inverse zero. Banana, what are you doing? Yeah, so it depends on the task. That's my answer. That's my non-answer answer.
So if you have questions as well, you can put those in the comments. But yeah, are you feeling more Gemini or Claude? And has it changed since we started? I'm definitely leaning a little more Gemini. There's definitely some cool there's some cool stuff there. I love
seeing what's possible though. That's the point.
Yeah, while you're commenting, I'm missing those MCP connectors though. That's a win for Claude for sure. And we're still
while you're doing that real quick. I just wanted to mention there is a live workshop coming up on Monday. I'm teaching just basically to see, is YouTube going to work for your business or not? This is free. Replay is included. The link, I think, is in the description of this video. If not, let me know in the chat. It will be there for the replay as well. But we're going to basically walk through the 3 things that client getting channels have so that you can basically make a decision. If you're already publishing, yes, it's worth going forward because I'm going to do these things, or no, it's not worth it. And I think that's the biggest fear with all of us on YouTube is this going to pay off? And, obviously Salma and I got to the point where we said, oh my gosh, yes, this is it. That's kind of, I think our goal is to help people get to the point where they go, this is just something I do now, like email marketing. Once you start email marketing, you don't go, I don't need an email list anymore if you're in a business. So, all right.
I'm
so
looking
topics,
at the chat and I'm winning.
and let's go to thumbnails. Oh, are you? I hadn't looked, but maybe subconsciously I knew you were
there was
winning.
somebody asking for one of my prompts, and I was thinking maybe I can send you a Google Doc of all the same one that I'm using. I'll just strip out like my URLs and things and make it more generic and send it to you. Would that work if you shared it on your channel?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Sounds like Gemini 2 will do a ton of things, but the setup seems overwhelming. I need the easiest one to use. It doesn't require a lot of time to set up. I would actually say Gemini is better because so much of it is built in to YouTube itself, in YouTube Studio.
I'm confused. What setup?
Oh, I think that's
I think
what
she
they
means
were
like your
saying,
prompts and things.
because it's learning as you go from your channel. So I think that's what it would be like. Well, what else do I have to set up? What else do I have to tie in? But the way that Selma is showing you is what you can actually do from the YouTube dashboard.
Maybe like the gem was like feeling. Oh, okay. Yeah, gems are. It could be a little bit advanced. Yeah.
Because of the relationship to YouTube, I give the advantage to Gemini, Gord says. Selma's last contribution makes me lean to Gemini. So that's because the Claude people are confident.
Come on, Jerry.
The Claude people didn't even show up today because they already know that.
They already know.
No, I have to say, wait till we get to scripting. Because
let's get into thumbnails then, which is going to be our next section here. So for thumbnails, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that I don't use Claude for thumbnails transparently, but I do use Claude for thumbnail ideas. So, which I have, did I have open? Oh, did I close that one? Well, I ran it earlier because I wanted it to actually render something. So I'll walk you through this here really quick. But basically, if you're doing thumbnail ideas, if anybody's going to do this, I strongly encourage you to give it your script. Some of the best thumbnail ideas are not going to just be tied to the title. The more whatever tool you use has information about the video, the better the script can be here. So I attached a transcript for a video here, and this is all I do. I have a thumbnail skill, but I said, please give me YouTube thumbnail ideas for this transcript. The attached file's name is the likely title. So I just kind of give it that context. So it goes through and it gives 5 results. It talks about exactly what they should do, or what they would look like. And sometimes the tool that you use for ideation, if it's not actually going to build it, it's like, oh yeah, because I have a graphic designer who works 40 hours a week on my thumbnails. But so it gave me 5, and then I said, can you design ideas 1 and 2 for me? Now, to be clear, Claude is not known for design. There is a feature called Claude Design, but it is more for like laying out websites, landing pages, flyers, things like that. It's not really set up for thumbnails yet. So, but I just said, oh, can you design 1 and 2 for me? And I attached a picture of me just to give it an idea. So it went through, it made 2 thumbnails. It was really proud. You can see this one. It's terrible. It literally says almost nothing, in my opinion. Oh, the video, by the way, was called How Long Does YouTube Take? But this second one, I just wanted just to, lose further. This second idea, a wobbling toddler mid-fall on one side, a confident adult runner on the other, with you pointing at the toddler side, smirking. So in the video, one of the things I say is, at the 90-day mark at your channel, this is when business owners start looking at more advanced channels, and they're like, I suck, this is terrible, even if you're getting traction. And I say, that's like a toddler learning to walk, looking at an adult going, how are you running around all the time? I'm falling on my face. So just to give you a context for how bad this is.
Okay.
This is what it generated.
Oh my God.
Hey, that's like you playing Pictionary. Nailed it.
Well, at least it got the colors of your channel right.
What, red and blue?
In like a
blue,
weird...
Yeah, like I see a lot of red and blue on your channel.
Blues, not that blue, but yeah.
Not that
so
blue.
I don't know.
Okay.
I guess that's a toddler on the
That
left,
is.
but
It looks like one of those wooden toy
You know what? Here's the thing. Claude just can't come right out and say it. And that's what we're doing today is comparing Gemini and Claude. And Jerry's taking the Claude route. And what a valid attempt by you right now to talk about thumbnails and Claude. But essentially, Claude's like, hey, man, this is not our jam. And we can't tell you that. So we're going to put up stick figures so you get it. Do this elsewhere.
Simplifying. It's like, speak like I'm 5. Explain it to me like I'm 5. Yeah.
Like, this is not where you need to be for this, bro. But you know what is interesting though, and someone touched on this earlier, and this is the way that I believe in thumbnails, is the thumbnail has to convey emotion fast. The image has to convey emotion fast, not the text, not the title. It has to do it fast. So then someone goes, huh, and then they actually take a second. If they don't look at your thumbnail and go, huh, you've already lost them. So because Claude, I believe the robots are starting to win if we're talking about Claude, because they have a little bit higher emotional it has a little bit higher emotional IQ. So when you
get such a scary sentence.
That's why I said the robots are winning. What? It has a little bit higher emotional IQ. It's like looking at middle school girls. They have a way larger vocabulary than middle school boys. Why is that? Because they talk all the time. So their communication skills are a little bit better. So if you're trying to convey emotion, I think Claude might give you better text suggestions. It's not going to give you better images. At least not right now. Not right now. But better conveying emotion.
Will it give you, here's my question. Will it give you expressions?
I mean, will it generate the images?
I don't think it'll generate the images.
Or will it tell you what expressions should be on this thumbnail? Will it tell you?
Oh,
that?
Yeah. It's plenty smart for that. It just can't make the thumbnail. Thumbnail ideas it can do. It just can't do the actual design. And we use Gemini and we use ChatGPT if we're using AI, and then we're still building our thumbnails at the end in Canva.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, all right, let's see. I'm glad I went first on this round for sure, because that probably would have looked worse.
You are the most gracious loser. You are in the repertoire bracket, I believe is what they call it. That is
It would have looked worse if I'd gone second.
Salma, I want to see how you do thumbnails, though. I'm very interested.
All right, I'm trying to find the right screen to share here. Give me 1 second.
No
so
problem.
I'm going to go straight inside YouTube's dashboard again. Okay. Because I want to show you guys something that they've recently released. So here's a video. And this is like your typical video details page, right? But when you go down here to the thumbnail area, you can see I already have a thumbnail here. But what you can do just to get inspired. So this is, I'll show you 2 ways. The first one is to hit Get Suggestions. So if I hit Get Suggestions, it's going to start to open up as Studio on the side here. Okay, and it's analyzing my thumbnail style, looking through my content. So it's trying to make it based on what it already sees my brand looks like. So there's some customization going on here. I like when it says, I'm looking through your content. I'm looking through what else you've done. I'm looking through your branding and stuff, because it makes me feel like it's going to bring something really really customized to me. And then it says getting specific details for this video. So first it looks at the channel as a whole, and then it looks at this particular video that I have already uploaded, right? And then choosing the best option. So I'm just going to scroll up here and show you guys some of the previous thumbnails that it generated for this video. You can see I have a lot of
because image generation takes a lot of time.
but this was one which I very clean. So what it did was it took a screen grab from my actual video. So I'm actually wearing this white shirt in the video. And then it added the AdSense logos and added the white border, brand deals, easy mode. I actually used this thumbnail for this style for another video because I liked it so much, just not for this one. And then here was another one, which I didn't like as much, typical, person on the right, text on the left. There was another one that I really liked that I want to play around with a little bit more. I'm going to show you guys. This was another one that it generated. Kind of messed up the text on this one. I'm just going to show you all of the ones this one I really liked, but I didn't like the font choices. But I could remake this in Canva very easily, So
how close do you feel like it's getting to your face?
I wouldn't use AI generated faces right now, just because I think that it might get labeled as AI. So I, as you can see in this actual thumbnail, it's my actual face. It's not an AI generated one. The one that I wanted to show you guys here, if I can go all the way up here. Sorry, I do a lot of chatting with it. So
I see.
there was one that I actually wanted to showcase here before it became this one. So this was my favorite thumbnail. And I actually really like what it says about here. It's the proof of life concept. So you bring the phone into the foreground and I go into the background. And I think from a focus perspective, like a visual design perspective, I don't know, Candy way in here, but from a visual design perspective, I really want to recreate this thumbnail. And I want to take a picture of me just holding a phone, and I can reuse that thumbnail to put whatever text I want on the phone and repurpose this, and I can make it like a brand template out of this particular style. So this I really actually liked.
Yeah, that's a good one to have too, especially from a 16:9 perspective, to use it. It's similar to how you would use mock-ups on a sales page.
Yes.
Like, it's like, oh, this is me holding the tablet. Here's me sitting at the laptop. But with that phone, the way that you have it, trying to take that image over and over again, can you imagine? You would be so frustrated trying to do it. Make the template, get the template right, put on a generic shirt, and then go to town. You could use that a lot of different times, I think.
I actually really love the idea so much that I was like, I'm gonna create a brand template. I'm gonna actually take a screen grab of me doing that action.
Yeah.
And then just reuse that over and over again. So
you could probably play with it too. Like if it's something right here, and I won't get, ooh, gross. My phone's disgusting, you guys. I'm not going to get too much into it, but if you're here right in front, and this is kind of the image of what you're talking about in a way, you can do like you're holding it out in front. It's behind you over the shoulder. You can do a couple of different poses while you have it already set up. Do that anyway, because on a 16:9, you can actually work with that.
Yeah. It's all about getting the ideas flowing. You can use the AI to get these ideas flowing, and then you just go to town with, variations.
Yeah.
All right. Catching up with the chat real quick. Diana says, lose further. There's the sign of confidence. Yes. And then this video marked Skolin says, you actually shouldn't use AI thumbnails if you want to be found in search, because search engines and AI agents are looking after what's most genuine and real. EEAT is important. Is this one of your frameworks? I know this was your client, Salma.
Yeah, that's my client, Katrine. She owns a video production company in Norway.
Cool. Hi, Katrine. Is EEAT, is that something that you teach?
It's something that the search engine marketing world knows really well, because it is how Google ranks. So it's an SEO term.
Oh, okay. I have never seen that one before. Yeah, I do think even beyond what is going to show, what's going to rank, what's going to show up higher, the moment we burn trust with our audience and they see you on the thumbnail and they click on it and it's clearly like, it doesn't even look like the same person. I mean, as business owners, we can't take that risk. I will say, like, Candy's been having some fun with ours lately, where I just did one about YouTube SEO, and one of the thumbnails is me looking like, where's Waldo? And, in that scenario,
you should share your screen and show that one. I have too many tabs open right now, so I can't.
In that one, I think it's clearly AI, and as opposed to it not looking. Like.
I think and we have done trainings on thumbnails before, if you're in our world and Done by Lunch. But one thing that is the easiest mindset of thumbnails is
that's so cute.
Is the eyes. So you think about your eyes. If those are not your eyes, no one trusts you. So if it's a picture of you, it has to be your eyes. If think about the last time you saw somebody in sunglasses and you were talking to them and you were for sure thought they were looking right over your shoulder at what's happening behind you, and they were not paying attention to what you were saying. Here's me reliving what just happened with my 16-year-old. But I didn't trust he was paying 100% attention to me. So I would say the eyes, as if you get the eyes right, the rest kind of falls into place, and you could really tell.
You can tell this one, these are my eyes, because one of them is bigger than the other one. And that's something I learned after I started a YouTube channel, and a commenter pointed it out, that one of your eyes is bigger than the other one. What's up with that?
Well, because symmetry is not part of the normal human physique, whereas in AI generated, it's usually very symmetrical. It's a dead giveaway that it's AI because it's so symmetrical, the faces, which is not in real life.
And that is part of the uncanny valley. You go, I don't like this. I don't know why I don't like it, but my lizard brain doesn't trust this.
Yes. All right. Let's get through these last two topics, and then we're going to talk about what we think the future of Claude and Gemini are. So video scripts is next. And so when I do a video script, I use our app that we built, but otherwise I just go into Claude, and sometimes if I was, without the app, I will just ramble with the voice part, and I'll do this sometimes while hiking. And I encourage people to do the same thing because it is just an incredibly efficient way to, we talk a lot about ROE, return on effort. It's an incredible way to get a high return on your effort. And so what I do is I always make sure the video has three things. One is going to be, what are you going to talk about? So that's just the basics. Like, here's what I'm going to cover. I'm going to give three things that da-da-da, and it's going to be this, this, and this. The second thing that I encourage everybody to put in your video is any personal stories that you have around that, at least one. And then the third thing is something that is like I call it your strong opinion. Like, how do you differ from most of your industry? Something that is going to stand out. Because a lot of the times, the hook, the title, the thumbnail, all of those things, if they're going to be really strong, it has to be something that nobody else can make. And other than your face, your strong opinions and your stories are literally the only two things you have that you can make a video with that nobody else can make. So it came back and asked me which need magnet or lead magnet I wanted to use. And I'm reaching my Claude limit. Yeah, go ahead.
So can I ask a quick question? Yeah, Claude limits bothers me a lot as well. But can I ask about, are you using Claude projects to feed it the perspective that you want it to have? Like, is that baked in?
This one is actually not in a project, but I do have a project for all of my YouTube videos. Yeah, because then it has more context. I've just found that Claude knows me pretty well, and my skill is not a generic script writing skill. It's for my channel. Okay. So it comes back, gives the strategy, hook, segments, and I think I have some credits that I can activate here in just a second. So it goes through, and then it talks about why this script will work. So we'll just look at the hook really quick. So you've got a list of video ideas. What was this video about again? Oh, the first 8 videos every channel needs. You've got a list of video ideas sitting in your notes app right now, and you still haven't published anything this month. The problem isn't that you're out of ideas. It's that you can't tell which ones are worth the risk of being wrong. If you're a business owner trying to grow a YouTube channel that brings you real leads, this video shows exactly which 8 videos to make first and why those 8 in that order do more for your channel than random best ideas. I call it the magnetic 8 because it's built to attract, nurture, and convert the exact person you want as a client. Stick around because at the end, you'll know exactly what your next 8 uploads are. So one of the things that my script writing skill does is it adds emotion to it. So I didn't talk about, in my notes, like you can tell it's the risk of being wrong. But this is what we're always thinking, like, oh gosh, I'm going to put up this video and nobody's going to watch it because nobody cared. So I like what it did with it. It tends to write hooks that I think are too long. I'm really trying to get into my content within about 15 seconds now, but yeah, wow. It does a really good job. And Claude is known for writing. That's why my script writing app runs on Claude on the back end as well.
Okay, I can't believe how fast time is going right now because I have
so
many things to share. We only have like a few minutes, but do you want me to get into what I do with scripting?
Yes, please. And I'm going to hide your video really quick and then bring it back because your video froze a bit ago. See if it comes back better.
Maybe I was just too still for too long.
No, it's fine. We can still hear you, so it still worked. But all right, yeah, go ahead and share and show what you do with scripts.
Okay. So I'm gonna actually use my scripting gems. So gems are kind of a partnership like Claude Skills. So you can also think about gems as Claude Skills. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paste in a raw transcript here, and then I'm going to walk you through the process of what I'm doing actually here for script writing. So this scripting gem of mine, it is geared to take raw ideas. So just like Jerry, I go out, I take a walk, I do a brain dump, right? I use Whisperflow, which is like a phone dictation or a desktop dictation app, and I just literally talk to my phone. And I get all of the ideas out of my head and into a transcript, right? So records my voice and then gives me a transcript. I use my YouTube planner to put my transcript in, and then I paste it into my scripting gem. And then the first thing it does, it gives me a framework. I have 10 authority video frameworks. So it gives me a framework that this particular script will fit under. So for example, it's saying that we're going to select the trending topic video framework for this particular. So the trending topic one is one for things that are recent, come up, relevant, timely. Then it says content gap check. To hit the final script, 2 clarifying questions. Has the brand officially approved this, and what's the follow-up call to action? Then I will probably have to answer, yes, the brand has approved it, but I'm not sharing this yet because I was going to share it in the next video. So it was just asking whether the brand deal has been approved or not. Yeah, and the follow-up action is the CTA should be to my to watch the next video. Let's just keep it very simple. In the series, right? So it's just prompting me to give it the right information so it can actually script it for me. Then it's my brand voice profile. So it's like, okay, your voice in this raw transcript is direct, authoritative, transparent, and grounded. It's story driven. There's zero fluff. And then it takes out phrases that it will use in the script that I have actually said. B2B audience, SaaS purchasers, brand briefs, usage rights, teleprompter, blah, 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 whatever. And then I want to say next. And it's going to start to generate an outline for me. And the outline will contain a hook. The first part of the hook is about 7 seconds. The second part is the first part is 7 seconds. It has to match the title. So so we have to fulfill the promise of the title in the first 7 seconds. The second part is the filter or the proof. Okay, why am I credible to speak on this topic? So because I recently did this brand deal and I want to show you what actually happens behind the scenes. So that's my credibility. And the last 3 seconds is what we're actually, it opens a loop and tells it what we're actually going to get inside this video. And then it goes into, so this is just the outline. And I can go through this outline and make changes to it, whatever. And then if I type next, we'll go on to working on the titles and thumbnails because I like to work on the script, title, and thumbnails again, all together and make it a more cohesive thing.
Yeah, nice. I like that it's using your own language. And I think for anyone who's trying to train their own AI to, write their scripts, and this is also a thing that I love about the voice dump process that both Salma and I use is, if as long as it's instructed to do that, there's no better way to sound like you in your video than to use you talking about the idea in the first place, as opposed to typing out bullet point 1, monetization, or anything like that. So yeah, I love that. Okay, let's look at analytics then. And I'm just going to do this really quick on Claude out of respect to everybody's time. And then I'm just going to, this is going to be like thumbnails. Gemini, especially Ask Studio, which is built into your YouTube analytics, is probably going to be, the stronger tool. That's kind of how I do it. But when I do it in Claude, the nice thing is Claude has more of my conversations. Am I gonna have to add? Could not be found. Okay, this is this is the risk of doing things live. I'll just tell you what's in here. So I'm using vidIQ again. That's that MCP connection that has access to all the data on YouTube, including my own channel. Look at my YouTube analytics for the last 180 days. These are the main things I look for. Identify top performing videos that I can make more videos around a similar topic. Also identify videos with a higher than average watch time, but a low CTR. And this is one of the best things that you can do, whether you look in analytics manually or on your own, is if you've got good watch time, like higher than average on your video, but the click-through rate is really low and it's still getting impressions, meaning YouTube is still suggesting it, those are the videos to go back and consider swapping out the title or the thumbnail on those. So, all right, Salma, you want to share your how you do analytics? Because I'm curious about this because I know I'm just scratching the surface.
Yeah. So I'm going to open up one of my videos analytics. So this is a video that I published on June 4th, right? Okay. So it's doing okay. So obviously the analytics are giving me all of these graphs and numbers and things. And I'm really not a graphs and numbers person. So what I like is plain English. So what I do for analytics is I want to go into here, Ask Studio. And I'm just going to prompt it with something. I can choose from some of these pre-built prompts. So they have quite a few good ones. And I actually recommend starting with these. So if you go into more suggestions here, you can ask it all, refine my video title, suggest new ideas, blah, blah, blah. So let's ask it about this video. So let's just say, summarize the performance of this video and tell me what I really want to do is how can I do better or get better results, than this, right? Tell me how I can get better or similar results for, let's say, future videos, something like that. Again, very natural language stuff. And you can also prompt it to build your content plan for you. You can also prompt it to check your CTR for you. You can also prompt it to check your retention metrics for you, which are difficult for people to know how to read those things, right? So I would look at every data point that you've heard countless YouTube gurus and experts tell you. You should look at your average view duration. You should look at your watch time. Literally go to Ask Studio and say, look at these metrics and tell me in plain English, what do they actually mean? And it's going to...
If you haven't used this, well, I see it's up now, but if you haven't used this yet, everybody has it. It's like Gemini or ChatGPT or whatever built into your channel. It won't tell you things about other channels. I asked once, I was like, can you tell me about this other channel? It's like, no, I can't do that. And it can also be a rabbit hole, so just be aware. But this is one of the greatest tools that YouTube has given us because it does things in plain language. It will give you good advice. I have pushed back a couple of times and had to correct it. And it goes, oh, sorry, you're right, like all AI. So don't assume that because YouTube made it, that's perfect. But yeah, it's incredible what it does.
So just to highlight a couple of things, what I love about this, it's going to tell me what's performing well. So the average view percentage is 34.9%, which is above typical for my channel. So immediately I know, okay, this is a outlier, a possible outlier, strong community engagement. It also tells me that I can click here and view the comments that it is saying that people are responding by. So I can click here and go to the comments, right? Then it says there was a high interest spike at 2 minutes, 18 seconds. This is exactly when you're showing your media kit. So people want to see the proof of how you are building your media kit, right? So, and then it tells me what needs improvement. You're losing 24% of viewers within the first 15 seconds. So tighten up that hook, not tight enough yet. Then the reach is typically lower. Click-through rate for this one is also lower. So then I can prompt it on how can I fix this so that I can have a whole conversation with it about it. And then it's telling me actionable recommendations for future videos. So it's saying you want to start with this, validate the click instantly because I didn't do it too well in this one. The retention spike at 218 was so significant that share it earlier in the video as a teaser. So I can take tips on, okay, what do I need to do going forward? So I just really like all these little like plain English instructions. Do this, do that, don't do this.
Yeah. And remember, it's just information. Like, don't take I think for some people, you got to like put on your, suit of armor before you go in. But it's just information. One of the best pieces of advice I ever got on analytics is like, there's nothing good or bad in there. It's just information. And it's not a reflection of you as the business owner, as the person making the video, I think, which is always a good reminder that I have to give myself sometimes. So, all right, I want to know, and I'm excited to answer this question too. And I'll go first if you want, but like, what do you think Gemini is going to be doing for your the YouTube part of your business 6 months from now? Like, what do you think is going to be possible? Where are we headed?
Trend analysis, prediction, Google Tools integration. So you can integrate things within your videos, within your script. So if I'm creating a digital product for my other channel, which is a guide for Madeira, and there are businesses mentioned in that guide. Now, I don't actually have to go and look up those businesses. I can just have Gemini prompted to pull out the Google Maps data, include the links, the business hours, the roadmap, the directions of how to get there, all into that digital product. It's a $30 product. And I'm going to spend maybe half an hour actually writing the thing, and then the rest is all going to be handled. So all of these things. And the one thing I will mention is the token window. So I noticed that you were going to run out of Claude usage.
I was using it this morning.
I have been on the AI Pro plan for Gemini, never run out of tokens or credits because Google has one of the largest token windows out there with 2 million tokens on that plan. So, and even on the free plan, they are very generous. I don't know if it's going to change in the future or not, but right now they are.
Yeah, and obviously when you use Ask Studio and things like that, it doesn't even count against your AI plan, whatever that might be. So I'm probably going to need to switch to a bigger Claude plan at some point, because here's where I see Claude in 6 months or maybe even 3 months. I think this is almost already possible. I just need to build it. But I'm experimenting right now with I've already edited my videos using Claude and Descript, so I just type in prompts and then it edits the video for me, and it gets it like 90% of the way there. I go in and manually make fixes. But I think there's going to be a way to do it with like free tools and not even needing to script. And so I think literally the workflow between the vidIQ MCP to start with ideation and the script outline and all of that, then I record and then I tell it it's there, and then it's going to go in and it's going to edit the video. Then it's going to write an email to my list if I want it to about that video. Then it's going to cut it into shorts that I can then publish. And then it's going to connect to another MCP to actually schedule those shorts across, TikTok and Instagram and things like that. I think we're so close to that. Actually, I think the tech is there. It's just a lot to build. But that's where I'm really, really excited about it. And that is where that MCP thing is a big advantage. But Gemini is doing some amazing stuff without question. And the advantage to YouTube is massive.
Yeah, sorry, I just want to answer one of these questions because it was directly addressed to me about what tool I'm using for my brain dump. And I just wanted to say that I'm using WhisperFlow. That's WISPRFLOW. I think it's developed by the same team as LinkedIn. I think it's a Microsoft product, which is weird. Like a Microsoft product is good. But
I think it's OpenAI that developed Whisper.
Is it?
Or no, sorry. Whisper is OpenAI. Yeah. On the back end, I think it runs on
the back end, because I don't know why I associated with Reid Hoffman, who is the founder of LinkedIn, because he was talking about it as if it was his tool. So I was a little confused, but we'll see.
Yes.
But that's the tool that I'm using for the brain dump. And what I like about it is that A, it's very accurate, and B, I can have different levels of dictation. So formal, informal, and casual, depending on what I want to write. Like if it's an email, more formal, maybe. If it's a YouTube script, more chatty, maybe. So I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And for those of you that are
when I just looked it up, so just say when I just looked it up, it's like, do you mean the pool filter? I was like, that is not what I mean. No,
when you looked up WhisperFlow,
I was looking up WhisperFlow. Like,
it's fantastic. I am hooked. I am so. It's been a while since I've been so excited about just a random tool that just makes my life so. Yes, it makes my life easy. Very. It's
personal preference when it comes to that stuff, for sure.
Yeah, and you can dictate into Gemini, I think, right? The Gemini app?
You can, yeah.
Okay.
But the nuance is not there necessarily. So WhisperFlow gets that nuance right. So if you make a mistake and you repeat that sentence again, it will take the corrected sentence, not just the mistake one.
Yes, so there are some that are much better at the transcription, but if you're just brain dumping, I find that from context that they all do pretty well, at least for me. Of course, I don't go back and check them, so.
I think the important thing to remember is that it's 3 to 4 times faster than typing. So
it is. We speak faster, we think faster. No matter how fast your typing speed is, your brain's always going to think faster than you can type. That's just how it's going to be. And the thing is, when you are creating YouTube videos, what I've found is that when I'm, even if I'm not reading from the script, but if I have a script that was written first, it tends to be more formal because I'm editing myself as I am writing. I'm thinking about word structure. I'm thinking about grammar. I'm thinking about the word I didn't know to fit in there. Like I'm editing it while I am writing it. But when I'm speaking, oh my God, it's like filler, ahs, blah, 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 whatever. Like it just captures all of that spoken conversational thing. And then when I'm actually doing the video, I keep some of that in to keep the video conversational. That's how I'm using it.
Thank you, Salma, for being here for YouTube Backstage. This was a really fun discussion. I can't wait to see your video that you put together around this as well. Definitely check out Salma's channel. I've linked to it in the description down below. And we will see you next time on YouTube Backstage. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.